Hello, welcome to another episode of SEC Clash. I'm your host, Justin Johnson. Today I'm going to be discussing what I think is the top 5 games of Week 1. Let's go ahead and get right on into this. So, for number 5, I got Tennessee versus Syracuse. That will be at 11 a.m. I think Tennessee will win that game. But that's in my top 5. Number 4, I got Alabama at Florida State. It's going to be, at Florida State. It's going to be at 2:30 p.m. That should be, I know a lot of people are like, wow, why you got them up against them? Well, Florida State, I know they had a real bad year last year, but usually they're pretty good, and there's no telling how good they're going to be this year. So, I think you got to sit there and say, well, this could be a 50-50. Number 3, one of the earlier games during the week. This is going to be on a Friday. Auburn at BYU, 7 p.m. I know I'm going to be watching that game. That's going to be a really good game. That's a lot of pressure on that team. Playing Friday night. I think they're the only one playing on that day. So everybody's going to be watching you. Second best game, I got LSU at Clemson, 6:30. Yeah, don't need me to explain to you why this is a big game. And number 1, of course, Texas at Ohio State, a rematch of the playoffs. We're going to see how both of these teams vary after losing. Both lost a lot of production, so we'll see how that is. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some of these games, these teams, and see how things are going to vary for them through the rest of the year. Number 1, for Texas, I see 7 games for them that are a 90% win. Other than that, I see I think Texas is going to be 10-2. I think these are all either going to come from Ohio State, Florida, Oklahoma, Georgia, or Texas A&M. Now, I'd say Arkansas just because, they could be good this year, but usually every now and then they catch a good win every now and then, but I think those losses are going to be a little bit different. I think is going to be from Florida. They stomped Florida last year, and I think Florida is going to be looking to, going to be a lot better, going to turn things around. And, they stomped them pretty good. Florida looks like they could be better if DJ Lagway can stay healthy. In the second game, I got right here is Oklahoma, your biggest rivalry. I know you beat them last year 34-3, but it is a rival game. I never look past a rival game. I'm an Alabama fan. Auburn's ours. I know one team can be great and the other one can be awful all year, and the next thing you know, they turn around and they beat you and you don't know what happened. It's just how that goes. They're not going to overlook it. It's going to be something that they're going to be really trying to look forward into. Now, also, if not Oklahoma, I think Texas A&M, I'm very high on them. They will be, they're not going to, like I said, they're not going to overlook Oklahoma. So I think they're going to be looking too much at Oklahoma and going to miss Texas A&M. I'm very high on this team. I think it was 17-7 last year. I think Texas A&M could already be 2 losses in by this game, and Texas could only be 1. So I think it'd mean more to Texas. I think they're going to need it more. They're going to be more hungry. Also, looking at Texas, last year, did pretty good. I think they're expected to do better. I'm really high on them, but we'll see how that goes. All right, second, LSU. I see 5 games that are 90% win. Their schedule is a bit harder than Texas, a harder path for them right there. In that case though, I still see 10-2 as well. I think for those two losses are coming from Alabama and South Carolina. Alabama because, it's going to be at Alabama. Alabama beat the heck out of you last year. If you do not fix that defense, Alabama will do the same thing again. So we'll see how that goes. And the next team, South Carolina, because I think they're looking for revenge after last year. They don't think they lost that game, and I think a lot of people don't think that they do that. But, if not those teams, I think, those losses could come from Florida, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama. No, I'm sorry, not Alabama. I already discussed them. But Alabama dominated LSU last year, and can they go to Alabama and change that? You're going to be at Alabama this time. It might be harder on you. Another big question: can that defense finally put it together? When LSU went heavy in the transfer portal, maybe some of that helps for them to plug this in and make it a better year for them. Brian Kelly, I know people are going to be looking at you. Number 3, Auburn, Hugh Freeze. I know I get on this guy a lot, but it's supposed to be better this year. But Auburn, talk about some pressure. You're the only SEC team playing on the 29th. And so a lot of SEC fans are going to be watching this game that Friday night. That includes me, like I said before. In this schedule right here, I see Auburn going 8-4. Now some think that, this is bad, but I think at least it will be better, than the way they have been going, which is the wrong way. Hugh Freeze went backwards. I think, you got a lot to prove. 8-4, I think, keeps his job. But like I said, this guy's been going backwards, and it's just been bad for him. I don't know if they'll get 8-4. But I think anything under 8-4, he's out of there, and I would not blame him. Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, and Baylor, all the games, all the tough ones you got in front of you. And I'd say, 5-year games are 90% winnable. Now for 4, I think you got, out of those 4 games of Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, and Alabama, 3 of those games you're going to have in a row. And that's going to be Oklahoma, Texas, and Georgia. And they're all right after each other, so that's going to be a hard slate for Auburn. It's going to be rough. That's going to be a rough 3-game stretch right here. You're not going to get out of that one unscathed. I'm just going to tell you, if you're going to lose 2 of them at least, if not all 3, I think. But we'll see. We'll have to see for them. Maybe Auburn, maybe Hugh Freeze, Auburn can turn it around and make it better for them. But I don't know. The way the things have been going, I don't see it. Anyway, going to Alabama. Roll Tide. I see 4 games that are 90% winnable for them. I want to say 11-1, but that's the Alabama side in me saying that, so I'm going to go 10-2. I think those 2 losses could come from any of these teams: Florida State, Georgia, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, and yes, Auburn. It's a rival game, of course. I'm always going to say Auburn. Now, where do I think these 2 losses will come from? I think it's going to come from Georgia and LSU. Now you beat these teams last year, but these going to be a little bit going to be a challenge for you. Georgia will be coming off a bye week, and so will Alabama, but it will be at home for Georgia, so I think that's an advantage for them. So they've been losing to Alabama. I know Kirby's ready to finally get in there and see if he can beat Alabama. He's the only team he's got a losing record to right now, and it's pretty significant. So I know he's wanting to turn that around and claim that you are the best team in the SEC, but and you know how he feels. He wants to beat Alabama, and then I think he'll feel better about that. Everybody says you are, but I think he wants to prove it to himself. For that, they got a lot of things that are going to work out for them. So next, LSU. LSU, the same reason, but Alabama will not have a bye week the same week that you do. So I think you'll be fresh and prepared. I think that'll work for them, as much as I hate to say it, but we'll see. I hope not. I hope we don't lose any games. I hope we go 12-0. And I've seen where some have said Alabama could go 12-0 this year if they're good enough. I don't know about that. I don't think anybody in the SEC is going to get out unscathed, or anybody. It's just not going to be a thing. It's just too hard, especially in NIL deals and everything going on. Nobody's going to get out of this unscathed. I tell any SEC team that. But I'm thinking Alabama and me wants to go 11-1, and I think the only loss could be to Georgia. That's my opinion. Or LSU. Either one of them. Next, let's move on. Tennessee. This is my last one. Tennessee. I can't scroll down for some. Anyway, I can read it. Tennessee. I see 90% winnable games. I think you're going 9-3 this year. I think that'll, be coming. That's what they're going to be after the record. Be the record for them. Tennessee doesn't have that bad of a schedule. I think the 3 losses will come from Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Georgia, because they just had your number every year. They beat you last year, 31-17. Maybe you can turn that around. Alabama, you had them at, you got them. I think Alabama's going to be a lot better this year. I think Tennessee's took a step back. You got to go to Alabama. And then, Tennessee has to take some, like I said, it's took some step backs. Now I say Florida because Florida has had your number for some years, and you got them at home, and they really have had your number at home. So that's going to be a thing for them. If DJ Lagway can stay healthy, that is the big question. If DJ Lagway can stay healthy, he has already been injured again. We don't know if that's going to stick. Tennessee could be better too. I'm not saying that Tennessee is going to be, people are going to get mad about it, but losing Nico and getting, Joey Aguilar, I don't know about Joey. Let's hope he doesn't. If he going out there and throwing all them interceptions, he's been throwing 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 interceptions. That's not going to help you in some of these big games like this at all. These teams right here will take advantage of you in this SEC. Yeah, you did that in a non-SEC, but you come over here and you throw interceptions like that in the SEC. Over here in the SEC conference. Oh, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Florida, all these teams like that will take advantage of that. All them big teams like that are going to take advantage. So you can't come over here. I'm sure they're working with him. I'm sure he's going to be fine. I like his numbers. Looks good. I really like it. Any of these teams right here could be a top. Could be in the top. Any of these teams right here, I think, can make the playoffs. Maybe not Auburn, though. Maybe not Auburn. Auburn's going to have to do some convincing for me. Hugh Freeze is going to have to do some convincing for me. You went backwards. You've gone backwards in everything. You've done backwards in the transfer portal. Oh no, you did good in the transfer portal. Sorry, not transfer portal, but you did good in the recruiting. There we go. Schedule wise, winning games, you went backwards every time. So you're going to have to turn some things around in order for me to change my mind about you, Hugh Freeze. I've heard the other day, like, he might front and like it's okay over there, but apparently it is hectic over there, and he has no idea what the heck is going on. If it's as bad as they say it is, oh Lord, I don't know what you're going to do. Texas, you're losing a lot. Arch Manning, that's all I hear about. And maybe he'll be good. For the love of God, I'm tired of hearing about him. He's the only quarterback that ain't done nothing that people are just super high on, and I don't understand it. He's got the pedigree. He's got the name behind him. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop talking about this guy. No, I'm giving this guy heck. I'm going to give him fuel for fire, I guess. I'm going to give him fuel for fire. LSU, Brian Kelly, just win your week 1 game. Just go out there and beat Clemson, and then you'll convince me that you're a better team. Just go out there and beat them. Like I've done said this before, you go out there and beat Clemson, who's got the number 1 returning production, Bo Swinney. If you go out there and beat them, I will definitely change my tune. And you need to fix your daggum defense, because your defense has been terrible. You got Garrett Nussmeier, you got Durham, you got running back, you got some weapons on defense. You got Whit Weeks, you got Harold Perkins. Put these things together. You put in a lot of transfer portals, transfers. You went there and grab a lot of transfers. You plug them in, do what you need to do, and do something with that defense. Just not against Alabama. Don't do that. Anyway, that's it for my episode today. I appreciate you guys for listening. You can find me just about anywhere. I appreciate you guys for listening. I'm trying to do better. I think I'm going to start dropping down my episodes to 1 a week like I did this time, because 2 a week, I work a lot of hours, and it's hard to just do 2 videos. I don't know how people are putting them out every day. That's hard. But I think I can put out better content that way. It'll be a little bit more or less stressful on me, and you guys get better content. Thank you for listening. I want to go live. I hope to God the internet going to be able to hold up when we go up to do it, if I can do live. If not, I'll keep doing them like this, and I'll talk about, once football season hits. Hey, it's getting very close. I'm happy for it. I'm excited for it. I'm ready to get up in the morning, turn on that game day, and be watching them talk about it. It's great. Don't bother me on a Saturday now. I'll be sitting there, doing everything. I'm just playing. Anybody can get on there and message me or whatever. I'll come at you with some stuff. Want to talk some trash? I'll talk some trash, would you? I don't care. But thank you for tuning in to SEC Clash, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.